Hey everyone, another circuit. So we're going to pick up the weights. We're going to do a bicep curl. One is out to the side, one is a regular curl up. So we're going to alternate these, and we're just going to do a basic curl here, come down, alternating arms. One is externally rotated, one is coming up through the center. So these bicep curls are going to give you a little bit of variation on your traditional curl. You can go a little heavier with the weights on these. We're alternating the arms here. So whenever you add some variation to your strength exercises, you're not only kind of keeping things exciting, you're also keeping the muscles excited. There is something called muscle confusion. So whenever you're doing something different than you normally do, the muscle's going to respond. So as your body adapts to exercise, what you want to do is you want to vary the types of exercises that you're doing. That's why some of these circuits will have a traditional exercise move, and some of them will have a little bit of a variation. And that's why I always recommend to mix up these circuits so that you're not doing the same ones every day or every time, is because you want to confuse the muscles. You want to add variation to your routine, not only because it helps mentally, but also because it helps the muscles. So we're doing a variation here on a traditional bicep curl. This way, as you're doing these exercises, you're always going to see results. So if you were to go to the gym and you were to do the same routine over and over again, you're going to see results at first. But over time, it's going to get boring. And you're going to see kind of a plateau in your muscles. You're not going to see the type of definition and tone as you see at first. So you want to add variation. 3, 2, and last one here. So next exercise, we're going from a squat to a curtsy lunge. I'll start these off from the side and then I'll do them facing towards the camera. We're going to have a narrow squat and a reverse curtsy lunge. Your curtsy lunge is where we're going to tilt the rotation of the body. So we have a narrow squat here, come up to squeeze, come down in your curtsy here, and then your narrow squat is going to be nice and slow. So your curtsy lunge here is going to throw you a little bit off balance. And the purpose of that is to engage the stabilizer muscles. Those are the small muscles that are used for your body for balance. Narrow squat here. And come down into your narrow squat. And I'm going to do these from the front. So we're here with our narrow lunge, or our narrow squat. And here's your curtsy right here. Narrow squat here. And your narrow squat is nice and slow and controlled. So you want your knee over your ankles. My quads are a little bit tight today, so they're not going perfectly over the ankle, but they're also not extending over the toe. That's what you want to watch for. Curtsy lunge here. If the curtsy lunge is bothering your knee or your ankle, you can always go back into a regular reverse lunge. These will get your heart rate up. And we'll go one more with the curtsy. Come back into that narrow squat here and come up. So we're going to go back into the bicep curls. Stand neutral. Make sure that your spine isn't arched. And then we curl up, come down, and alternate our arms. Slow and controlled. Another way to vary your workouts is to increase and decrease the weight. So, if you've been using the same weight for a certain period of time, maybe about a month, maybe 6 weeks, you'll want to increase the weight about a pound or two. And then about 4 to 6 weeks after that, you'll want to lower the weight. And then you'll want to up it again. And then whenever you up it, you can up it maybe 3 or 4 pounds. So you want to vary the types of workouts that you're doing, and you also want to vary the weight. I tend to lift a little bit heavier weight, but then I will always go back to a light weight for a short period of time, and then I'll come back into a heavier weight because it adds variance, it adds muscle confusion. So we're here with the bicep curls. We'll take it 3, 2, and last one here. Shake this out, get set up for your lower body. So we're going to come back up here to your narrow squat and reverse curtsy lunge. So we start out slow and controlled, and then we're coming back for the curtsy lunge. Slow and controlled in our squat. Make sure to squeeze at the top. Curtsy, curtsy. Narrow squat here. Squeeze on the way up. Squeeze at the top. Curtsy, curtsy. Narrow squat here. Squeeze through it. Your curtsy is going to take you off balance a little bit. Getting in those stabilizer muscles. Squeeze at the top. Go into that curtsy. Narrow squat here. Make sure to squeeze. Controlled movement. Curtsy, curtsy. We'll go one more round here. Narrow squat, curtsy, curtsy. Slow and controlled. Squeeze, 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 and squeeze at the top. All right, now we're going to go into that kettlebell swing. So we're going to step wide. We have our dumbbell or anything relatively heavy here. If you're just starting out with the kettlebell swings, make sure you go light, get your form down first, and then you can go pretty heavy on these. So we're wide, and we just start that swing off. And then as we feel comfortable, we're going to bring it up parallel to the shoulders. Swing it back through, and then come up. When you come up at the top, you want to squeeze those glutes together. So we're going to get our heart rate up here. Squeezing those glutes. Make sure that your knees are not going over your toes. Staying relatively over the ankle. And we're just going to swing it here. when we're combining the upper and the lower body together, we're here for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Just to get that heart rate up. Five, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. So this weight can go down. Now we're gonna get into cardio. Your heart rate's up. We're gonna do a little bit of a kickboxing thing. So right here, we wanna go punch, punch, knee, knee. Punch, punch, knee, knee. So you're just gonna follow along here. Knee, knee. Now again, during these cardio sections, if your heart rate is not up, you'll need to speed up the movements, make the movements more aggressive, maybe even choose a different movement. Again, if you have some stairs, you can run up and down the stairs. If you have a long hallway, use that. The purpose is we want our heart rate at about a level 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. You should be working hard, but you should be able to maintain control of your heart rate. This is just a little kickboxing move. And again, if you're in a small space, this is perfect because you will be getting your heart rate up. And if it's not, again, make these movements quicker, more aggressive. Do what you can do to get that heart rate up. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. We're going to come into cross jacks. So with these, we're moving side to side here. You can add in that skip if you want. For demonstration, I'm just going to stay here. So whenever you bring your arms in, hold a contraction right here in your shoulders. That's going to give you a little bit of a chest workout, working those smaller muscles. Make these movements quick. Get the heart rate up. By adding in the arms here, you're going to get a little bit of a chest workout. And you're going to increase the amount of muscles that are working, which will increase your heart rate. And again, add a skip, add a jump, add some more intensity if your heart rate is not going up. And again, you may be playing some music in the background, which would be great for motivation. Okay, we're gonna go back into that little kickboxing. We'll go 3, 2, 1. Go back into kickboxing, water if you need some. So we're gonna start off here, we'll go punch, punch, knee, knee. Punch, punch, knee, knee. I always tell my clients, it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look coordinated. As long as your heart rate is up, I don't care what it looks like. Normally I'm the most uncoordinated person in the class, but I have some ladies who they will use that cardio section and they march in place, and that's sufficient for their heart rate. They are working out at a level that is a level 7, because you can tell by how they talk. But sometimes for, some people with marching in place, that's enough to get the heart rate up to that level of 7. Some people need a little bit higher intensity. It depends on you, your heart conditioning, how fast you're moving. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2. Last set of punches here. We'll go back into those cross jacks. So we're just here. And instead of just moving your arms back and forth, if you hold a contraction right here as you move your arms in, you're going to get a little bit of chest work too. So that's always good. This is our last little section. And again, I would play music, but I'm told there are copyright issues, so just y'all have it on in your own background. So, and again, if your heart rate's not up, raise the intensity, add a skip, a jump, whatever it is to get that heart rate up. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of standing abs. It's going to keep the heart rate up a little bit, and then we'll drop down to the floor for core. So come into a plie squat here, and we're just going to do side bends. You can have your arms behind your head, and we'll just go side to side here. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always just have your hands on your waist. That's fine. The main thing is to keep that constant contraction in your core. So you're creating a contraction here, and then you're moving with it. So you're in a plie squat. Your spine is straight. You're not arching. You have that pelvic tilt so that your pelvis is tucked under. You're contracting at the core, and we're just bending side to side. So your hands could be here if that's comfortable, on your waist if that's comfortable, or even out to the side like this. It depends on how well your body is moving. You want a pretty good range of motion with this. Holding that contraction in the core. The lower body is stable. The upper body is rotating back and forth, left to right. We're concentrating on the obliques. Holding that contraction in the core. So we'll take it 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here. We'll come down to the ground. We're going to do a double crunch, pretty standard. So we'll just lay on that. And you want to make sure that your low back is stuck into the floor. So here's your pelvic tilt. Your low back is stable. So if you're trying to put your hand underneath your back, you can't reach behind there. There's no arch. So the easiest way to do that, again, pelvic tilt, pressing the lower back into the floor,
and you're gonna contract those abs. And this is just your basic double crunch. So we're coming up to hold for a breath, and then come down. Reset your body. So we're gonna push the lower back into the floor, and then come up again. Hold it here, and then come down. Reset, come up and hold. So you have a pretty good space between your chin and your chest. You want to be looking up at the ceiling. Come up and hold. And come down. Come up and hold. And then come down. Up to hold. And then come down. We're going to go 5 more. So we'll go 5. 4. 3. 2. And last one here, come up and hold. You can bring your arms out here just for a final one. And then we'll come up. So there ends another circuit. So this is your first, your middle, your last, or your only one for the day. I say great job and see you back soon. Thanks.